Welcome back. Now that you have a complete set of notes from your textbook and your class lecture, you'll learn how to use them to help you study. Simply reading your notes over and over is not an effective way for the brain to remember information. You have to actively think about the material. Personalizing is the best way to do this. The majority of your study time will be personalizing and reviewing your notes. In this topic, you'll learn how to start turning your notes into one of your most valuable study tools through personalizing them. Personalizing your notes is a way to activate your brain so that you can better understand and remember the information. As we go over each step in the process of personalizing your notes, we're going to be using this set of student chemistry notes as an example. You can see how the textbook notes were written with a pencil and the class lecture notes were added afterwards in red pen. As you learned in a previous topic on note-taking, the left 1/3 of the page has also been left blank. You'll see what we're going to do with that section in just a moment. The first step in personalizing your notes is to use color and size to emphasize the words or phrases that you think are the most important. You can use highlighters or colorful pens. Try to choose 1 or 2 words in the title or topic, 1 or 2 words for each main idea, and about 4 to 6 words for each section of details relating to that main idea. Limit yourself from going highlighter happy. In the example, you can see how color was added to make the most important words and information stand out. The word gold is surrounded by gold dots. The names of important people are underlined in blue. Important dates are boxed in green. The names of the parts of the atom are also color-coded to stand out. Now, let's finally talk about the left side of the paper that you set aside. The next step in personalizing your notes is to write related questions in that section of the page. Write a summary question for each main topic or concept. Creating these questions is a way to further engage your brain with the material. Later, these will also be useful for studying your notes. Begin by asking the basic who, what, where, when, why, and how questions. Once you have written basic questions to summarize important concepts, think of questions and answers that are more personal. Some of the best questions that you can ask yourself include, how does this relate to the material that I already know? What if something happened and you'd fill in that blank with something specific that you're wondering about? What does this remind me of? And is there anything that I don't understand? You can write the answers to these questions on the left 1/3 of your paper. Research shows that including personal comments is one of the best ways to engage with the material and thus stimulate your brain when note-taking. This updated example includes summary questions on the left 1/3 of the paper. The last question has a star on it. This last one could be a summary question, but it could also be a question that the student was wondering about during the lecture and wants to go back and find the answer. It would make a good summary question and a good personal question as well if the student really didn't know what those models were and wanted to find out more. The last step in personalizing your notes is to add pictures or other graphics to represent information. This is a critical step for effective note-taking, and it's also a fun one. The brain stores information as pictures better than abstract ideas or words. Using graphic representation helps the brain to store and recall material quicker and more efficiently. You're bringing multiple sensory pathways to the material and activating more areas of the brain. Be creative, but don't get caught up in the art. A quick and simple sketch is all you need. This step is particularly effective for visual learners, but can benefit all students as well. Here's an updated example with the pictures and symbols added. You can see some light and sort of silly drawings like the shell, the chocolate chip cookie, and the pudding cup that the student drew to help them remember the information. It also has a diagram of the atom with arrows that point to the nucleus, protons, neutrons, and electrons. All of these images are also done in color, which will help the information stand out even more in the student's memory. Here's another example. This is the personalized version of our solar system notes we saw earlier. Notice how the notes include general questions and personal questions. They also include pictures and even a mnemonic device or memory trick to make the material more memorable. In this topic, you learned how you can create a valuable study tool by personalizing your notes, which also activates your brain so that you can better understand and remember information. To do this, you want to use color and size to make the most important information stand out. Then, add summary questions and personal questions on the left 1/3 of the page. Finally, draw and color some simple pictures and symbols to make the notes even more memorable. In the next topic, we'll go over how to study with the notes that you've created. For the activity in this topic, you'll be personalizing the notes that you've created so far. Try out the strategies for personalizing that you learned this week.